Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We are now learning some new information after a 21-year-old man killed another man outside of his home in Beltrami County. Court documents say Montana Cutbank shot the victim unprovoked. The shooting happened Tuesday night when authorities got a call about a man who was shot and killed outside of his home. Court documents state that Cutbank went to the victim's home, started an argument with that victim, and then shot that person in the head with a sawed-off shotgun. Authorities caught up with Cutbanks this past weekend. They then arrested him. New for you at noon, the FBI wants to remind shoppers in Minnesota and the Dakotas to beware of scams this holiday season. The FBI says these are just some tips you can use to avoid being scammed. Do your homework on the retailer or website or the person to ensure its legitimacy. Conduct a business inquiry of the online retailer on the Better Business Bureau's website. Check other websites regarding the company for reviews and complaints, and check the contact details of the website, specifically the address, the email, and that phone number. And be wary of online retailers offering goods at significantly discounted prices. With the COVID-19 pandemic fueling demand for pets, the Better Business Bureau is also warning of an increase in pet scams. The BBB says you should avoid buying a pet without seeing it in person. Avoid wiring money. Beware of websites or ads with spelling errors. And if the price is too good to be true, it's probably a scam. The BBB also recommends that you get 2 references from the breeder. We have a traffic alert for you right now. A part of Highway 10 in Moorhead is closed. It's the eastbound lane by 14th Street and the railroad overpass. It's unknown when that section of highway will reopen. We want to take that live look outside right now. A little gloomy out there in the metro anyway, but it doesn't feel too bad when you walk out the door. For the first week of December, that is. We check our forecast now with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yes, at least it's mild if we're going to have those gray skies, and those will be changing too. They already are for some of us, but in Fargo, it's a little more gray. We're at 31 degrees right now. It's 37 in Grand Forks. Got some milder air out to the west where we're above freezing there, and you can see it's a little cooler east where we're into the mid to some upper 20s to about 30 degrees during your lunch hour. So temperatures are on the mild side, already surpassing our average highs for this time of year. And here's a look at those clouds on our satellite map. You can see that we're looking at Fargo kind of right in the heart of this cloud bank that's making its way from northwest to southeast. We're clearing in Devil's Lake. Jamestown just saw some clearing coming into Devil's Lake, or rather Grand Forks here pretty soon. And eventually heading into the afternoon, we'll see more clearing for Fargo. We may be stuck with the clouds through the daytime hours in our eastern counties here today, simply because it won't be able to clear in time for that early sunset. Here's a look at our hourly planner. Again, mostly cloudy in Fargo right now, but we'll gradually see more sunshine into the afternoon. And then temperatures holding steady as we head into the nighttime hours for tonight, thanks to a westerly wind kicking in. We'll let you know what to expect here as we head into the rest of the week, and of course give you a preview of that weekend coming up as well.
All right, thank you, Lisa. One man is recovering following a brutal attack by 4 people after being thrown out of a friend's home earlier this week. It happened Monday afternoon at 809 10th Street South in Fargo. That's in the neighborhood just south of St. Anthony's Catholic Church. Officers found the victim bleeding and uncooperative. Documents say the victim was kicked out of an apartment, so he broke a window and then punched one of the suspects in the face, and a fight started. Cell phone video helped police determine that it was Valine Blueshield using the axe. She was arrested along with Juan Flores, Tilando LaRoque, and Cynthia Butcher. The condition of the victim is unknown at this time. One Moorhead family is going through the rubble today, trying to find anything left behind after a Christmas tree fire. That fire happened around 11:45 last night in the 1200 block of 15th Avenue North in Moorhead. Fire crews say flames engulfed the home, and today there's not much left. Investigators say Christmas tree lights caused that fire. No one was home at the time and no one was hurt. A CDC advisory committee has approved a plan to get those at highest risk for infection vaccinated for COVID-19. The unprecedented emergency vote recommends who should be first in line for a COVID-19 vaccine, even before one's been approved for use by the FDA. Miguel Almaguer has our story.
This morning, the most vulnerable Americans now one step closer to getting a COVID vaccine. On Tuesday, an advisory committee to the CDC holding an emergency vote to decide who should be first in line. The group formally recommending healthcare workers and those at nursing homes should be at the top of the list. Together, roughly 24 million people, likely exceeding the number of doses expected to be available at the end of this month, with millions more lining up behind them.
As you get into January, February, and March, you will then get the second, third, and fourth level of people who are essential to society.
With early vaccinations in short supply, hospitals are being told to stagger early vaccinations, which would prevent wiping out entire medical units if there's an adverse reaction. The latest guidelines now on their way for approval by the director of the CDC. But ultimately, distribution decisions are up to state leaders. While the recommendations are expected to be followed, they can be adjusted. With 6 vaccine candidates aiming for FDA emergency authorization, the CDC has not yet outlined who should get the following round of doses, but previously suggested next would be those with underlying medical conditions, critical workers like those in the food supply system, and seniors over 65. Most Americans will likely have to wait until spring. It comes as top infectious disease experts look to build public trust in a vaccine developed and set to be delivered at warp speed.
It's that work at a community level that's going to be most important. This has to be clear messaging from the top, if you will, but a huge effort at a grassroots level.
This morning, hope amid the heartbreak as the world moves closer to a vaccine. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Meanwhile, the UK's health secretary says Britain's National Health Service will begin administering Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine early next week, following the drug's emergency use approval by its regulatory agency. This makes Britain the first country to start vaccinating its population. The vaccination program would focus first on healthcare professionals. While the UK has ordered enough of the vaccine for 20 million people, it's not clear how many doses will arrive before the end of the year. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is talking later today about the COVID-19 pandemic impact on public safety and first responders' ability to respond to emergencies. He'll be joined at a news conference this afternoon by the Department of Public Safety Commissioner, as well as representatives from police, fire, and ambulance services. In our consumer alert this afternoon, Walmart is dropping the $35 order minimum for Walmart Plus subscribers. The change goes into effect on Friday. It only applies to items bought on Walmart.com. Groceries, which are delivered from Walmart stores, will still have that $35 minimum. Walmart Plus, which was launched just over 2 months ago, costs $98 a year or about $12.95 a month. The National Retail Federation says the number of online-only shoppers jumped 44% over the Thanksgiving weekend. Tonight, you can take in a little holiday cheer by watching the Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting. It will be broadcast on KVLY starting at 7. The tree is a 75-foot Norway spruce, and it has more than 5 miles of lights on it. Is the pandemic causing mental health issues in our children? We find out about that in just a few minutes. But next, a calm day in the metro, kind of cloudy around here as well. Lisa Green explains how the rest of our day will shape out.